When you retire, you may get a chance to go to football heaven. This is football heaven.
Hey guys, welcome to The Mission. I'm your host, Jameer Howerton, and I am super pumped for you guys to be joining me. Today, I'm reporting inside of the James Allen Family Gold Jacket Lounge, where this is the site during enshrinement. It is a sea of greatness. Some of the best Pro Football Hall of Famers are right here in this room waiting to hit the red carpet before they go to enshrinement, powered by Johnson Control, and to hear those speeches. Well, as you all know, this year's class 2022 has been announced. Let's give a huge shout out to Tony BOSELLI, Cliff Branch, LEROY BUTLER, Art McNally, Sam Mills, Richard SEYMOUR, Dick Vermeil, and Bryant Young. Well, as you guys all know, in the past, the Pro Football Hall of Fame has alerted the new class by knocking on the door. And last year, we got a chance to see the sting operations. Well, this year, the Hall of Fame took it a couple of steps further and added a unique twist when we honor the heroes of the game. And together, we all celebrated the excellence of these Hall of Famers knocking on the doors of the new class of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Well, today I get a chance to catch up with five-time Super Bowl champion Charles Haley, who did the honor of knocking and letting Bryant Young know that he was in the class of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Hey guys, as promised, I am super pumped to be joined by, I want to put this in its proper context because this Pro Football Hall of Famer was the first player to not only have one, but 5 Super Bowl rings for every finger, along with 5 Pro Bowls. I'm talking about the legendary 49ers, the legendary Dallas Cowboys. Mr. Charles Haley is joining us right here on The Mission. How you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. I want to thank you so much for taking the opportunity out to spotlight me and my career.
Oh, I'm super pumped to have you here because, you know, when the Pro Football Hall of Fame took a different approach in allowing the Hall of Famers, and I shouldn't say allowing, but having the Hall of Famers honor this year's class by doing the surprise sting operation knock. What was it like when you got the notification that, hey, Charles, we want you to welcome your brother, Bryant Young, into the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
Well, you know, I think it was a God blessing for me because I was kind of down. Michelle called me and said, well, Charles, we're considering if Brian makes it, then we want you to do that. So I was all excited. And then I didn't know whether he was going to make it. Then I got that call back and I'm going like, wow, oh my God, I am gonna induct a guy to the Hall of Fame because you know what? You go to the Hall of Fame all the time, but you don't really feel a part of it. Now I feel like my team, I feel strong now because I got an opportunity to enjoy with another man his career.
How much fun did you have, Charles?
Hey, I don't know if you looked at the video or not, but you would have realized I had a lot of fun. I'm a guy that I love fun. I love the game. I love athletes. I think that we're the most disciplined people in the world. And I just, it was like oil and vinegar because Brian Young is a nice man and I'm the opposite. And I got a chance. I was just thinking about it. I'm going like, oh my God, so how I'm going to do this? Because his personality is really, really nice and charming and mine's are kind of rough. I said, but you know what? I'm so damn happy to be a part of it.
Charles, reliving the moment of the day, take us through step by step leading up to the knock.
Well, let's talk about that night. I had to stay in a hotel and all these memories went through my mind is when I got inducted to the Hall of Fame. But the most thing is when I didn't get, and the guy next to me got it, and they start screaming and yelling, and and that pain, that hurt, those scars are still with me. And I got a chance to just be with a young man. And I went from the hotel to the airport, and then I sat there, and I'm going like, this is really happening. This is really, really happening. And I got a chance to look Mr. Porter in the eye and tell him, this is the most wonderful day, the best day that ever happened in my life. And I am so honored that he took those steps and changing in the Hall of Fame to allow us to be the presenters.
That's awesome. When you knock on the door, what did you say to Bryant, if you remember? Excuse me, Bryant.
Well, I knocked on the door. He looked at me crazy. He said, oh my God. I said, hey, you know what? Welcome to our family. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. And his excitement, his joy, I want to hug him because, Brian is an emotional guy, and I knew he might start crying. And I didn't want to start crying on television because my daddy would have got mad because he said, men don't cry.
What were the smiles like and the joy when you looked at his family members? How did they embrace it all?
Oh my God, his wife jumped into his arms. His son and daughter was walking with us at that moment. And then they were off camera. And then that celebration, that was the most important part of it. It's just, you get to hug the people that you love the most, that sacrifice for you the most. You put their life on hold so that you can build greatness and become the athlete that you are. And you get to share that moment in time with them.
Now, Charles, we got to talk about this because after you do the knock, after you welcome in, you see the expressions, the expressions on everybody's face. Now he's about to get baptized. Take us through that, because that was extremely funny.
Well, we didn't want to go in that house because of the virus. So, we took a nice little walk, a little chat, and I talked to him about what the hall stand for, what it's like being inside the family. I talked to him about the moment in time when he's up on stage, the yellow jacket ceremony. So as I'm talking to him, I'm walking back, man, I see a pool, and I'm going like, man, why has he got a pool? Ain't nobody in it. And so something was going through my mind at the time, and I was getting confused. And I said, well, somebody need to go in the pool, and it ain't gonna be me. So I helped him out because you know what? I baptized him. So now you know what? He's in the hall for real.
Now, he told us during Super Bowl weekend at the Merlin Olsen luncheon that you guys, when he was a rookie, you and some other defensive players tried to get him in the cold tub. But he said he was so strong, and he kept you guys at bay. But then you got him back. Tell us about that story.
I wasn't part of that interaction. I was at the Cowboys during that time.
Okay.
So I wasn't part of that. But yeah, he is stronger than a bull. You moving him if he wants to be moved. And and God knows, if he doesn't want that, it ain't gonna happen.
Wow, man, we're talking to 5-time Super Bowl champion, Mr. Charles Haley, here on the Mission Podcast. And Charles, just to kind of take some time to talk about Mr. Bryant Young, who's a member of the 2022 Pro Football Hall of Fame class. What did you see from this young man early on, his play on the field, that led you know that one day he would be in the Hall?
Well, he was tenacious. He was a guy, I was really confused about this young man because I've never met anybody that plays like that, but was as nice as he was. And, he was a gentle giant, man. He goes out there and ball out. He shows up every game. And that's what winners do. That's what Hall of Famers do. They don't take games off. They show up every game like it's a Super Bowl. And that's how I knew that this man has made a mark in life and that the path that he's walking on will lead him to the Hall of Fame.
Well, Charles, Patrick Willis, who is Bryant's former teammate, linebacker for the San Francisco 49ers, and was a finalist for this year's class of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, had this to say about Bryant. He was the most selfless teammate he has ever played with.
You got that right. I told you he's very disciplined. And those are the kind of athletes I love to be around. They know that job description and they do it to the best of their ability. And that ability allows them to be great in every moment. And I got a chance to stand beside the man in pass rush, in the film room, to just watch his mind work. And I was pleasantly surprised, man, that of his work ethic. He had a work ethic to none. When I came back, he had just tore his knee and everything up, and he was just coming back. Mm-hmm. And he came back better than when he went down.
Charles, what type of player was he off the field? What type of man was he off the field? You talk about how, he was the gentle giant, but, what did you observe from him off the field?
Hey, if you be around him at all, the way that he sees the world, the way that he sees only solutions and not problems. And he was sat down with you as long as, you want to talk about, the things that mean something in the world, mean something to him. Most of us, we get in there and start talking about the streets and what we've done in our past. But this young man only talked about his future.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And, you said that during the time of the knock, you had a chance to kind of take him through, what it means to be a Hall of Famer. If you don't mind going deeper, what did you share with him? What advice did you give with him now that he's about to embark on this part of his career?
Hey, people think that the media guys that sat there put you in the Hall of Fame. Your body of work got you to the Hall of Fame, and that you should never minimize that. Don't worry about how long it took you to get there. Just know you are there, and nobody can take that jacket away from you, and that your dreams, your ambition has come full circle. And you deserve this. I talked about, me being a 5-time Super Bowl champ, but yet I had to wait. But I didn't use that as a problem. I used that, I made decisions in my life that every time I came, I would go to the Super Bowl, I would go to the honors. I found other ways to deal with that pain. And I told them, you know what, when you go down there and you see the guys that you idolized all your life, and you get to walk over and hug their neck, or they walk over and hug your neck and tell you how great you are, there's nothing like that in the world.
That's amazing. And, Charles, when you look at this year's class, Tony BOSELLI, Cliff Branch, LEROY BUTLER, Art McNally, Sam Mills, Richard Seymour, Dick Vermeil, and of course, Bryant Young. How proud are you of this class?
I'm very proud. I'm just saddened that some has passed away before they could actually do the walk of this journey with us. But there, every year there's 6, 7, 8 players that go in that are very deserving. But everybody wants to get lost on, I should be first time. You remember that the commitment you're making is to each other, to each Hall of Fame, that you will show up and be a part of the family year after year after year. It's not about, let me get the honor and then never show up again, because you're not a part of our family if you can't show up.
And speaking of showing up, as I mentioned earlier in my monologue, we're inside the James Allen Family Gold Jacket Lounge. And for people that don't know, Charles, and you've been in this room, this is the waiting room right here before you guys hit the red carpet and go on the stage and hear the speeches of your new brothers in your fraternity. But inside this room, if you could talk about the greatness that's waiting to hit the stage before enshrinement and why people should come to enshrinement. But this room in particular, it's the who's who of pro football.
Oh my God, man. I every year I sat there. I sat there for 5, 6. I don't open my mouth. I just sat there and watched them come in. And I say to myself, oh my God, I could have played with those guys. Oh my God, I couldn't have. Hey, that's the best defensive end. That's the best pass rush. So all these things are going through my mind about each person that walks through that locker room. And let me tell you, fans, hey, I don't care if it's the Bears, the Giants, the Cowboys, or whatever. Let me tell you, the people that go up on that stage, the people that have been inducted, let me tell you, the quality, the stature of these men cannot be put into words. You should take time out 1 day, 2 days out of the year and come down and support the Hall of Fame.
That's right. And right behind me right here is a New Orleans Saints great from the class of 2010, Mr. Ricky Jackson's gear. He was a part of the Dome Patrol alongside the late, great, rest in peace, sir, Mr. Sam Mills. What do you remember about this guy right here, Ricky Jackson?
Hey, they were in our division. We had to deal with those guys twice a year. Hey, bad boys, what you gonna do when Ricky comes for you? Hey, and Sam Mills, oh my God, little short guy that can bring it. Hey, he knock it, hey man, hit you in the mouth. He ain't try to cut you or nothing. Hey, hey man, the Saints gave us trouble. And those guys played with such vigor and anger and emotion. I mean, I remember those games year after year after year.
And lastly, before we let you go, just overall, what did it mean to you to have this opportunity to usher your brother into the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
Well, you know what this means? That my butt may not get another chance to do somebody else. Because you know what? Now I got that taste in my mouth. I want to do it again. Hey, so every guy who gets a chance to knock on a door, remember, it's not about you. It's about that guy that you knocked on the door. I stepped away so Bryant can, I wanted to decrease so he can increase because this is his moment. And I got to share it. Hey, man, it tears me up, man, when I think about that. Even to this day, why me? I always ask God, why me? Why me? Why do I get so many blessings for all the things I've done? And let me tell you, this blessing, I would never forget. I would cherish this moment for the rest of my life. And Mr. Porter, because of his unselfishness, he's given us a voice. And every player to get this opportunity should realize that a powerful man gave us his power for a day. So enjoy the moment. And again, thanks, Mr. Porter, for the love.
Well, there it is, guys. Mr. Charles Haley joining us right here on the mission. Charles, thank you so much for giving us your time, and we can't wait to see you here in Canton this summer. Charles Haley, everybody.
Hey, I'll see you later, my brother.
Take care, sir. Wow, what an amazing show. And it's just such an honor to hear the rich stories from Mr. Haley as he speaks of Bryant Young. And we want to congratulate once again the class of 2022. And you can shop for exclusive class of 2022 gear online at profootballhof.com. Well, as Patrick Willis said, Bryant Young was and is the most selfless player he has ever played with. We can't wait to welcome him and his other class members right here in Canton, Ohio during Enshrinement Week, powered by Johnson Control, and to see the full knock, because this is as funny as ever, but if you got a chance to see it, please visit the Pro Football Hall of Fame's YouTube page and watch for the Bryant Young full knock when Charles Haley baptizes him into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Well, guys, next week, we're going to get a chance to hear from Pro Football Hall of Famer Paul Tagliabue, who was the former commissioner of the NFL, and he did the honors of knocking on Art McNally's door and welcoming him in to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I'm Jameer Howerton. We'll see you next time right here on The Mission.